Hey, beloved, God bless you all. This is Dan Dano, Pastor Dan Dano. Just wanted to show you guys, I posted recently a post that said that faith is not obedience, and a few people lost their minds and started quoting James, faith without works is dead. We even had one person saying that faith is actually the same thing as obedience. And they got that false understanding from a misreading of the text. The person was reading and kept reading, saying, and they were reading ESV, saying, through whom we have received grace and apostleship to bring about obedience, or to bring about the obedience of faith. Now, for some reason, I'm not sure if they just couldn't read the text, or they forgot their glasses, or they couldn't understand plain English. They kept saying that this verse was saying that faith was obedience. They read the word faith, they read the word obedience, and they were conflating both words. That's not what this verse is saying. The Apostle Paul is not saying faith is obedience. The Apostle Paul is saying that there is an obedience of faith. Now, if we know English, we should know English, since we're reading English, we should understand this clearly. Isn't saying that faith and obedience are the same thing, but rather that obedience comes from faith. This is why Paul is saying the faith of obedience. We can see this clearly when we read this other translation, Berean Standard Bible. Through him, and on behalf of his name, we received grace and apostleship to call all those among the Gentiles to the obedience that comes from faith. Obedience that comes from faith. It means the exact same thing as the rendering of the ESV. It brings about obedience of faith. Obedience that comes from faith. Now, we don't need to be rocket scientists. We don't need to look at ChatGPT or write in the dictionary and try to figure out what this means. Obedience of faith does not mean that faith is obedience. What it means is very clearly that obedience comes from faith. Obedience comes from faith. Not that we get faith by obeying, but that our faith causes and produces obedience. Thank you very much for listening and watching this small video. We'll be back talking about this subject more in depth, and I'll probably make another video. God bless you all. Grace and peace be with you.